Hello! Today we're looking at the most fun European War 6 countries to play in all of the conquests. Now the way I'll be ranking fun here is not too easy, so for example Netherlands will be a little bit of an issue because they're too easy, but also not too hard. For example the HRE, which is just an insanely hard country, isn't that much fun to actually play. So it's gonna be like a mix. It's gonna be a bit challenging. Your opponent countries are a little stronger or same strong, and it's a lot of fun to expand and have. Yeah, just you feel a satisfaction if you play these countries. So let's get right into it. At number 10 we do have La France. Now France in all of the conquests is pretty important for the French coalition, because it's called French coalition. It does make sense, doesn't it? But yeah, France is a lot of fun in 1798. But the reason it is ranked rather low on this list, in rank 10, is because 1806 is still rather doable to place France, but the further you go, the harder it gets to place France, and especially 1815, you just don't want to play France. 1812, you can place France, it's still not as much fun. But 1806 and 1798 make France be number 10. At number 9 we have the United States of America. Now the US is in a unique starting position that it fights two stronger opponents, which makes it quite interesting because you always will face a bit of a stronger threat than you are yourself, but you have a good economy and you have useful starting units. So the US in 1812 and 1815 has it hard. I think 1812 is even a bit harder for the US, 1815 also. Like I said, good fun to go against two strong enemies, and you can control the Americas. Downside is, if Europe is lost, then it's gonna be quite hard. At rank 8 we have one of the grandest empires which ever was. We have the Holy Britannia. Now Britain is again in a rather unique starting position that you almost always get a Mediterranean fleet. You in 1798 get a starting fleet down here to attack the Spaniards. Let's quickly do it. So you almost always still start with some units around the world because you are an empire. So 1798 you start here with some units, you start here. You can often play on more than one theater, which if you enjoy microing a lot then it's fun. If you really don't like to micro, it's a bit of a pain to play as the Brits. So for example in 1812 again, you do start off with Britain, but you also start off with I don't know what these islands, I still don't know what these islands are. You help in Canada and you have some units like Portugal. So you are again on multiple fronts, which can be enjoyable. Rank 7 is a Scandinavian power, and that is Sweden. Now Sweden is a lot of fun because you always can just go bash Denmark. So the other way around, same goes for Denmark. If you place Denmark, you can bash Sweden. You usually have a good start to the game, and this one's a bit on the easier side since Sweden is in most conquests a very easy country, but it's still a satisfying thing to go and win. Rank 6 we have the opposing country of Sweden, that is Denmark. Now except in 1815 when Sweden and Denmark are on the same team, Sweden and Denmark always duke it out. Denmark is almost in every single conquest on the French side, so you'll be able to beat the Swedish, beat the Prussians, or fight the Prussians, so you often have to fight the Prussians and the Swedes, which is quite entertaining. And the advantage which Denmark has over Sweden, why I rank them above them, is Greenland. Now Greenland makes conquest so much more doable because you can go attack Canada, which will make the American front in 1812 and 1815 a lot more doable. At rank 5 we have one of the grand powers, we have the Ottomans. Now the Ottoman Empire is always an interesting one because you start off rather strong. You have a big front with Russia, you have the front with Austria, but Austria usually is quite weak, and you can go and interfere in Africa as well. You're always on the French side, and it's just a good challenge to play. You still should come out almost every time on top, but it isn't as easy. Rank 4 is quite a tough country, but a very enjoyable one in my taste, and that is Portugal. So Portugal I really enjoy a lot because you have to fight the quite a lot tougher Spanish in 1798 and in the other two conquests in 1812 and 1815, you will help the Spanish, but again you are a rather regional power, so you're a bit weaker. But if you can help the Spanish defeat the French, or if you can defeat the Spanish yourself, it's a lot of fun and it's quite satisfying. Only thing is, don't play Portugal if you just began the game. At rank 3, we have a mighty empire, which is the Russian Empire. Now the Russian Empire starts off with a lot of strong generals, which is so cool. If you don't have to you don't necessarily have to be very high ranked to do well as Russia. You have a lot of fronts, so there's a lot of microing. You have to micro against Poland, you have to micro in Scandinavia, you have to help micro against France, micro against the Ottomans. It's quite a challenge, but if you're a good player, you will succeed, and it's satisfying to win as the Russian Empire. At rank 2, we have the fan favorite, Prussia. Now Prussia again is a very interesting one, because you always will start off and have some trouble. For example, 1812 is such a hard conquest as Prussia. As France swarms you, Poland will join and swarm you. It's not as easy, but it's fun. So 1812 Prussia is hard as heck. 1815 Prussia is also a challenge because you have to survive against France. 1806 Prussia is a rather bit easier one, but again here, like I said, Prussia is quite a hard country overall. Not too easy, not too strong. And you have to always face against the Poles, which is quite interesting. If you manage to beat the Poles, life is usually quite a lot easier. But Prussia is a very enjoyable one, plus it's a fan favorite. Honorable mentions here are still Brazil, which sadly only is playable in one single conquest, and it's a bit one-dimensional, but a lot of people love Brazil, which deserves a shout out. Another honorable mention is the Netherlands, a fan favorite because of the 1798 conquest, where you only survive and you basically win. Netherlands is an easy peasy way, and a lot of people got in love with the game because of Netherlands. The HRE also deserves a special little shout out, because the HREs, if you manage to survive it, it's so satisfying, but mostly surviving as the HRE is horrible. So it's almost a bit too hard, but it almost deserved to get it to the list. At number 1 we have Warsaw, so Poland. Now Poland is a very interesting one, because if you start off the game, do not play Poland. You're surrounded by enemies, the HRE, Prussia, Russia, everybody wants to kill you, everybody hates you. But if you play your cards right, if you manage to destroy Prussia, attack the Russians, for example here, 1806. You manage to hold out, that it's so much fun. Because usually the French will come and help you, and it's an overall super big challenge, but not impossible. Poland is the country which I like to play the most in this game. I hope you feel the same. Give it a try if you haven't yet. You can play it in 3 conquests. In 1815 sadly not. But in 1812 again. 1812 actually is one of the easiest ones. But 1806 and 1798 for Poland is tons of fun. Well, thank you for watching. I wish you all a nice day. And bye!